Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Home Services Home Show, where you learn a lot that you need to know.
And a whole lot you don't.
That's for sure. It's been a little while since we've gotten
That's good to be
together.
back.
It is. It's been a couple months. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. I know we've been announcing it on social media and our Facebook page, but Larson and Keeney Home Services were named #1 roofing and gutter contractor in Madison, as voted on by you,
The people. That's
And,
awesome.
yeah, it is. It's something that we take. I, it's it it means a lot. It really, really does. Like, we've been working at getting better and better and better for years, and to finally have that validation, it means a lot.
Well, it's hard when you're doing all the work and you don't know that people are watching. It's hard to know. We strive so hard to make people so happy and enjoy the process and love the project they do. Sometimes you don't understand, is it really real? And then when you get that kind of validation, man, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
because we're far from perfect.
No.
And jobs that stick out in my mind are the ones that didn't go perfect.
Correct.
But for every one that doesn't, there's 99 that do. So we're really, really happy about that. And other big announcement that we have is that we're actually expanding.
Yes.
We've really been focused on, for Larson, we've really been, Madison to like the La Crosse area.
Yep.
And you've been.
And for Keeney, it's really kind of been Fond du Lac North, in the Northwoods. But the customer's been talking to us. They've been asking for it.
Yep. But we have, and we get calls and calls and calls to go east over into Milwaukee, the Milwaukee area and all the suburbs, and we are doing that now.
So starting here in the next
we're already servicing them now. We're going to be opening
office or two,
another location or two. So it's something we're really, really excited about. We could be able to bring our fantastic roofing, our gutter shutter, our great home performance work with our insulation and air sealing work that we do.
And the experience, right? I mean, that's truly, when people talk about the experience they had at Madison or Neenah or up in Green Bay or Northwoods, the experience what they'll have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be exciting to be bringing that to the people of Milwaukee that want it. And it's going to be refreshing for the people who have been, hey, can you come take care of us? And up until then, it's just been kind of, no, not really.
Yeah.
But we really focus on that top mentality, right? If the top spins really tight close to home, you can go outside that and expand and not have any dangerous issues.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want any wobbles close to the bottom. And certainly we perfected that as best as humanly possible. And confident that as we expand in that Milwaukee market, people are going to love the experience, they're going to love the products.
Yep.
And
that's where I started working. Really was Milwaukee, and running an office down there. Well, it seemed like it was just a couple years ago, but
it's been 12, 13.
It was been since like 2010. So
right.
Good Lord.
Right.
What happened?
You got a little grayer, a little less hair.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Hair's a little thinner. Beard's a little gray. It's all good, though.
That's right. It's a new thing.
It's like a fine wine.
Right. Just like
better
that.
with age.
Just like that.
So, it's not what my wife says, but
yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk about, besides those big announcements that we're expanding and we were named #1, we want to talk about some fall maintenance.
Yeah.
The leaves are turning color. The leaves are falling. It's a big difference from where you came to here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's actually a ton of leaves on the trees.
Yeah, actually the leaves are falling by me. They're red and they're on fire, and we're only an hour and a half away.
They're just starting.
It's a difference.
They're just starting to turn, but they fall. That means gutter maintenance. But what follows this is winter.
And that's the part that honestly should scare the people if they have a compromised sorry, Shane. If they have a compromised gutter system or a compromised roof, it should scare them.
Yeah.
Because summertime, rain falls, you hit your roof, and gravity pulls it off, and it goes downhill like it's supposed to. But once wintertime comes and it starts to freeze, it can go laterally. It can go uphill, right? That doesn't happen all summer long. But in the wintertime, that's when you see damage.
Explain how it goes uphill.
So how it goes uphill. So when water freezes, it creates a dam at any level, right? It doesn't matter if you've got a steep roof or a shallow roof. Once water starts to freeze and it starts to run laterally, then it can start to freeze there and go back up. It can creep, right? And when people say, hey, I have a leak and I think it's from this area, a lot of times we find out it's 10, 15, 20 feet away is the problem.
Right.
And that's what's so scary about water in Wisconsin on roofs and gutters that aren't in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that we talk about fall maintenance, and you'll get into in a second here. it is the scariest part of the year because summertime is easy. It rains really hard, water goes away. People don't think about it. But this is where the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in damages come from is wintertime now and then in springtime. So once that water starts melting and it's everywhere under your roof and you can't see it because it's under shingles, that's when you get thousands of dollars of damage.
Yep.
So it's scary, and it should scare people. There's some people that have houses out there that listen or watch this that you should be scared. You should be nervous, but we can fix it.
Yeah.
There's options.
And if you don't know,
Just ask.
just ask. We'll come take a look.
For sure.
It's what we do.
Well, and I think that's one of the biggest things that people love about what we do, you and I do, is that we take a really pragmatic look of what's actually going on in their house, not what's best in it for me or best in it for you or best in it for a contractor like most contractors do. What's the right thing for the people?
Right. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What's best for the homeowner? I think that's where we can touch on our roof restore division.
Correct.
Because we run into homes all the time where the shingles are not that old.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with them.
Right. There's no need for them to go into landfill.
Right. But they leak.
They leak. Spots leak.
Spots leak. The shingles don't leak.
Correct.
Obviously, if you got a leak in your roof, like, I need a new roof. Well, not necessarily.
Right.
Right. So when we come out as part of fall maintenance, honestly, I think it's good. Have your roof looked at if you're not certain. And we're going to do a full inspection on your roof. And we're going to take a look at the shingles themselves, granules, granular loss. Is there a lot going on? Is there not? Well, your roof is only 6 years old. There's probably nothing wrong with your roof, but you've got a leak. Well, that's because the details weren't done properly.
Correct.
Chimney flashing, step flashing, sidewall flashing, roof to wall flashing, pipe flashing, all these different things where you could put the best shingles in the world on your home, but if you don't do the little things, it will leak.
Contrary to popular belief, blackjack is not the best fix.
Well, we see a lot of it.
We see a lot of it, unfortunately.
We
There
see a
were
lot of
some
it.
really cheap roofs that were put on, and that's what you get.
Yeah, and if you got a new roof done and certain flashings don't look like they got done, but they got a nice bead of blackjack around them, that's an issue.
That's a problem.
We
Going
see
to be a problem.
We see that all the time.
Correct.
So there's ways that we can fix and or restore a roof so that you're not tearing off all of your brand new shingles, and we can increase the life of that for a fraction of the amount of money.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's interesting you talk about the restore part, because I think people may not necessarily know the term, right? So people say I need a roof repair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, roof repair typically is a roofer coming out there trying to stick a Band-Aid on something, try to plug a hole and
replace a shingle.
Yeah, and it really takes
blackjack.
It's not a fix, right? It's just okay, how long is it until it leaks again? Right, where we took that model, so that's really not what's best for the customer, and we've developed the roof restore model, in that we want to restore life to your roof. If we can add 3 to 5 years or more of life to your roof that you don't have now, that's a benefit for the homeowners. They're not spending money on that brand new roof, and they can have a great peace of mind without a big price tag.
Right. And all we hope is that we can fix it for you, and then maybe someday down the road we can come back and
when it's time,
be your roofing company.
Trusted roofer.
Be the trusted roofer, because if you can get another 20-25% life expectancy out of that roof, that's good for everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously it would be more money and we'd make more money if we just replaced the roof, but that's really not what
it's not about us.
No, that's not what it's about. So, all right, let's start off with the fall checklist.
Sure.
Things that should be done. You can look this list up, and number 1 or 2 on that list every single time is gutter maintenance.
Correct.
Which is another term for cleaning your gutters.
Right.
Making sure that
a little sexier way to do it.
Yeah. The problem is you get up there right now and clean your gutters, you're probably going to have to do it again next week.
Or a couple times.
And the next week. You're going to have to keep doing it. And most people don't do it. And I can tell you from experience that most people I see that get leaks from clogged gutters is in the spring.
Yep.
When the ground is still frozen and we happen to get a rain, the gutters are clogged, and where's water going to go?
Right. It's got to go right over the top.
It's going to go right over the top. Ground is frozen. Maybe we've got some negative grade somewhere, so it doesn't soak in. It comes right up against the foundation. It's going to take the path of least resistance, which is typically into your basement.
Correct. And that gets to be a really frustrating, expensive deal.
Mm-hmm. I was just telling a story this morning about we've got a new sales rep getting trained. And what we do with our new sales reps is, one of the biggest things in selling a great product or service is that person needs to believe in what they're selling.
Correct.
So what we make them do is we make them go out to customers' homes and talk to homeowners that we've done work for. Does a couple things. We have another touch point with a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
We can see if anything's wrong, but they get to let our new person know, like, yes,
This is how I felt.
this was a great experience. We love your company. Yes, if people want to call us and talk to us about it, they can. But some of the best times is when they go to talk to the homeowner and they ask them about their gutters, and they're like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it since I got them put up.
Checklist.
Perfect.
Nailed it.
Perfect. Because we want to put them on your home, and then you can just not think about it anymore. You think it's going to rain, big deal, don't care. My gutters are always working. I don't have to worry about it.
You think of the 1,000,000+ homes between eastern, southeastern, and southern Wisconsin of people that are fretting and thinking about their gutters right now because they know they're clogged,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that if they don't clean them, they're going to have problems.
They're going, I suppose I should get up there and do that.
But
this
it's bull
weekend."
hunting, it's hiking season, it's fall wine tasting, it's trick-or-treating, all the fun things you want to do,
Yeah.
not cleaning gutters.
Yeah.
But you have to.
I was telling another story on the radio show this morning about when I moved down here to start my company, and I bought my first home down here, and it had open gutters. They were horrible. Little downspouts, tons of trees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a fledgling company, we don't make any money if my guys are installing gutters on my house.
Right.
So my house is secondary.
Right.
So I had got to the point where I'm like, okay, I got to clean these gutters. My wife was like, you should probably park your truck in the garage if you're going to be up there cleaning gutters. You can't have that truck logoed like that and be up cleaning gutters.
See, I told you she's way smarter than you.
She's smarter. It was the worst thing I've ever done.
Right.
I think I almost fell off the ladder like 3 times. And trust me, I'm pretty good with ladders. I used to do this stuff for a living, but I'm using the ladder I have at my house,
Right.
which isn't a professional ladder. I don't have planks. I don't have the stuff. It was a horrible job. And I think I did it one time, and I was like, okay, this is going to change.
We're changing.
We're changing this. But yeah, anyway, when guys go out and talk to homeowners and they're like, yeah, I haven't thought about my gutter since I had them put up. Perfect. That's what we want. Peace of mind.
Correct. And that's a great part. People when they do work with us, they love us, but they kind of forget about us. And if they forget about us, that's okay until someone stops by and says hi. Because that means we did our job.
Absolutely, we did our job. Roof maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it's hard to know what roof maintenance should be done
Mm-hmm.
because people typically don't do it. We go to people's homes all the time, and our reps ask homeowners, hey, when's the last time someone inspected your roof?
The answer is probably
It's never.
never.
No one's ever inspected our roof because you don't think about your roof until it leaks, you get hail,
Right.
or it's really visibly bad.
Right.
And sometimes it's even really hard to tell when it's visibly bad because the shingles nowadays have so much color variation on them that you can lose a lot of granules, and you or I
Would catch it.
could see fiberglass matting, but a homeowner can't see
Nothing.
fiberglass matting. It just kind of all blends in.
Right.
So, yeah, let's talk about roof
Yeah.
maintenance.
So you think about what's coming up, right? Snow. And how many chimneys in Wisconsin don't have a cricket?
Huh.
Probably. I mean, everyone
almost
that we do
every roof that we do needs one.
needs one.
Yeah.
Right. We end up putting crickets on, and people, so cricket is a valley, a water diversion behind a chimney.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. As your slope comes down, you put a perpendicular water stop in the middle of the roof. What a terrible idea.
Some of the chimneys are 3-4 feet wide, 6 feet tall, depending on where it is. It has to go up over
The ridge
the ridge,
Right.
So it can be really high, and you've just got this big wall.
to stop water and let it leak in.
Yep.
Crazy.
One of the biggest leak points.
Correct.
And how many chimneys are actually flashed properly? Some are, but
Most aren't.
God, most of
Because
them really aren't.
Unfortunately, I wish roofers would really truly charge people the right amount to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're doing a new roof, flash a chimney the right way. Just do it right. because although it takes time and some things sometimes those are hard to do, it's one of the most critical spots on your roof.
It, absolutely.
Anytime you poke a hole in a roof, a pipe, a vent, a chimney, skylight, anything, it has the greatest potential to leak.
Yeah, and it has to be done right, and that's where we see most of the issues. We get a lot of people that call and say, "Hey, I think I got a pipe boot or a pipe flashing that's leaking." Well, what do we know about all the pipe flashings on that house then?
Right? If one's bad, they're probably
They're about all the same age, right? And unfortunately, a lot of them, especially older ones, they don't last forever because the sun does major damage on them and they dry rot. And once one goes, if one's leaking, it's probably time to do all of them. And that's why we call it a restore and not a repair, because a repair would just be getting up there and replacing that one.
that's leaking.
And then what? Wait for the other three to leak, or just do them all. So now that they're all updated, they're all restored back to where they should be.
Correct. And what a great way to look at that is restore the life back to your roof.
One of the biggest things.
There's nothing wrong with the shingles at that point. The shingles around that
Nothing
are
wrong.
perfectly fine.
Right. Nothing wrong with it. Another big aspect of a restore is actually looking at the gutters,
Mm-hmm.
because when gutters are installed improperly, pushed up too high, never cleaned,
Mm-hmm.
they will actually deteriorate the edge of the roof a lot.
Right.
I mean, how many times have we seen them where they're installed and they're pushed up too high and they're cupping the shingles?
Ski sloping. It's like a ski. It's like a ski
slope.
jump.
It's like a ski jump.
Yep.
Use that. It's a ski jump. The problem is that the water sits there.
Yep.
And then over time, seals start to go.
Yep.
Starts to seep in. We'll take gutters off or take roof off, and the edge of the roof is rotten.
Right.
Didn't even know it was leaking, but it's been leaking through there and dripping through the soffit. So that's something that we take a good look.
When we
into.
take a roof off, we do a full roof replacement. The most sheeting we have to replace is on the edges, where you just talked about ice and snow pushing back underneath it.
I know the other part.
Chimneys and sidewalls.
Yep.
Right.
Valleys.
And valleys.
Valleys are a huge problem.
Making sure that's solid, that's sealed.
It's sealed.
It has
There's
to be.
also the proper underlayments underneath that valley. Because if you think about it, you're taking all the water from two different slopes of roof and you're channeling it to an area that big.
Right. And hoping it's
Sits
not
there
going to leak.
And hoping it doesn't leak. I've seen roofs taken off where roofers don't even put ice and water down the valley, which is
Should be criminal.
which is unbelievable. It's spend an extra $100 on that roof just to put ice and water in the valleys.
Right.
We're putting about 8 feet of ice and water in the valley, because I know,
And a couple layers of protection.
protection, simply because I know what a
Critical area it is.
critical area it is.
Sure.
So,
The last thing people should be checking and at least looking at is ridge vents, ventilation. Stuff can get clogged up over the summertime. Do you get birds up there building? Do they fill in any of that ridge vent? Is it all gummed up? Right. So if people can't get up on their roofs, it's dangerous. But if you can, go up there and look at your ridge vent. Is it still flowing? Because that ridge vent cools your attic. With releasing the warm air. So making sure that's another thing we see on the restore side of things, that
moisture.
moisture, right?
Moisture's a
Heat and moisture are killers for roofs on the
You don't
inside.
have proper ventilation and you don't have air sealing in your attic floor, you're almost certainly going to have mold in your attic.
Correct.
It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, we see it so often that we go in attics and it's black.
It's black.
Right.
And that's also something that we take care of.
Correct.
So we can make that attic look brand new.
Healthier, roof not leak, and your wife happier. Because unfortunately, when time you have a roof leak, what does it mean when you have a roof leak? You don't ever notice it when it's leaking in your attic.
No.
You only notice when it's got into your house.
It's got to get through the roof. It's got to get through the insulation, and it's got to get through the drywall. Then it's a real problem.
Correct.
Because now you're talking about fixing the roof. You're talking about replacing insulation. You're talking about replacing drywall.
Correct.
Now, might be time for a new roof. Might not be that serious.
Right.
So I think our rule of thumb typically is, if that roof is 18 or more years old,
right,
that's probably getting to the point where a roof restore might not do the trick.
Or 25 to 35% of the value, right?
Yeah.
Like, because again, I think if we always look at it through the lens of how do we take care of the customer the best, if our restore price is more than 25 or 35% of what a new roof would cost, we got to have the honest conversation. Maybe that restore is not the right
Yeah.
answer.
Unless that roof's 5 years old.
Right. Correct. Right.
It's 5 years old and
Shingles are gonna last a long time yet.
that something bad happens. So
Yeah. So, but I think it's in the roofing world, what we're doing is unique, and it's not. It's because we're doing the right thing. We're trying to help people the right way, and not have people get taken advantage of, not have to spend money they don't have to spend.
Yep.
And let's just be honest with them, and if we can give them some life on their roof, great.
Yep.
And then because then we know that when they get to experience us, that when they need that roof a couple years down the road, 4 or 5, whatever is 10 years down the road, we know who they're going to choose.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you've got someone who comes out to your house and they're like, "No, you need a new roof," and your roof is less than 10 years old, you probably don't.
Right.
Almost guaranteed you
Right.
don't.
Because the shingles,
Unless it was done so poorly that, half of it has to be torn off to fix it.
Right.
I would say 95% of the time we can restore that roof and give you a lot of years.
correct. And that's just doing the right thing when no one's watching.
Yep.
Right. But that's why, number one roofer in Madison, there's a reason for that.
Yep.
We do things the right way, even when no one's watching, and the customers appreciate it.
Yep. Absolutely. So, fall maintenance, check your gutters. If you don't know, give us a call.
Mm-hmm.
Roof. You going to put a picture of the dog when I say that? Roof.
Shane makes fun of me the way I say roof. He says, I'm going to put a
Roof.
dog on the screen every time you say that.
I don't know how else to say it.
That's the way I was raised.
So check your roof. Honestly, if your roof's getting to that point, if it's showing, call us. Have us come check your roof. Have us come check your roof because we really know what we're looking at.
Right.
Ventilation, attic, any of that stuff. Have us come check it out before winter. There's still plenty of time to get stuff buttoned up before we get to all
Correct.
the freezing.
One of the other fall checklists that people forget about: outside water spigots. Disconnect your hoses. Make sure those are drained. Drain your hoses, but B, make
Unless
sure
you
you
like buying new ones.
Yeah. Unless you like having them break and flood your basement,
That's bad.
right? That's bad, right? So one of the biggest things we always, when especially when our sales guys are out, one of the things that they're always doing is, hey, make sure you disconnect that hose from your hose bib or your water spigot, so that way it doesn't freeze. Because most of all of these spigots nowadays are frost free, right? So they actually go back into the house about a foot, and they're actually at a positive grade outside. So once you disconnect your hose, they actually drain. So then they can't have
You
the
don't
water
have to
catch.
do anything with them.
They don't have to do anything.
Shut them off.
Anymore. That was an
The old
old
ones you do.
grandpa thing.
Yep.
But you got to disconnect the hose. If you don't have your hose disconnected and you happen to leave it on, that's a problem. It's going to break. So another one.
Yeah, that's our fall maintenance checklist.
Yeah.
We'll put something on social media about it. We'll put some stuff on our websites.
Yeah.
And watch the video. But if you've got questions, you've got concerns, give Keeney a call, give us a call. Also know that we're both we're all getting into the Milwaukee area.
Yeah.
Milwaukee and the
Fun.
surrounding.
It's going to be Larson and Keeney in Milwaukee.
It'll be Larson Keeney Home Services over there, and we're hoping to bring our great roofing experience and gutter shutter system to that area. So
should be fun.
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So until next time, thanks for watching.
Yeah. See you guys.